Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to show off a few tricks FaZe Mongraal uses to help him edit faster. Outside of his aimbot-like aim, his absolutely hilarious in-game comms,
Knocked! Yes!
and his absurdly smooth building, what separates Mongraal from other top-tier pros is the speed and precision of his editing. His edits are mind-blowingly quick, even though he plays on a pretty low sense of 400 DPI and 0.098 in-game sense. The speed of them alone helps him secure kills and get shots off that not many other players in the world can. Even if you play on a higher sense, with a bigger mousepad and crank your arm just as hard, it's nearly impossible to replicate how he edits. That's what I thought until I came across an amazing video by Ghoulboy. His video made me realize and discover all the secret tips Mongraal's been using and keeping to himself. The first trick Ghoulboy found after watching Mongraal's warm-up video, and I'll quickly play the clip.
I'm always practicing doing this. I've been practicing this a lot. Like that. Like, I practice this a lot, and I mean a lot. So, like, if you do it really fast, it's legit a free kill, 3 tags.
So the trick here is a very subtle mechanic Mongraal uses that he does not actually mention. By now, all of you guys should know why you put a ramp over your opponent after you steal their wall. Not only will your opponent have no time to react or to protect themselves, but it's safer than a cone because they can't use the cone to peek with. That's not the trick though. The thing we care about is in the execution of editing the wall and placing the ramp. To help you understand it, start by simply yoinking your opponent's wall. Once the wall is yours, you're gonna initiate the edit. Then comes the important part. As you select the tiles to edit the wall, you're gonna continue to hold your left click. Do not let go of it. From there, confirm the edit using your edit key and follow that up by pressing your ramp key. Because you're still holding your left click, and you have been from the time you selected the tiles to the time you brought out your ramp, it will instantly place. Then, to finish up the move, take out your shotgun, edit the ramp backwards to expose your opponent, and take the shot. I'll show this one more time with a keyboard and mouse cam I want you to pay attention to. Starting from the beginning, I yoink the wall. Then I begin the edit by pressing my edit key. I select the tiles with my left click and continue to hold left click down. Once again, I hit my edit key to confirm the edit, and right after I pull out my ramp, which instantly gets placed because I never let go of left click. When Ghoulboy first explained this, my mind was blown because of how smart it was. The entire time before this, I had been editing the wall, letting go of my left click, then pressing it again to place the ramp. You can see it's a lot slower and less optimal since I let go of my left click and then hit it again. While the fast way, I never let go of it, so there's no delay between the wall being edited and the ramp being placed. Mongraal even says in the same video, he sees some pros doing it the slow way and that it's wrong. It's not as fast, and it will give your opponent that extra time they need to build a ramp of their own and protect themselves. That's why Mongraal is always practicing this, and why you should too. My advice is to do the same thing he does in his warm-up. Just go up to your own wall, steal it, and remember, for the trick to work, you need to keep holding left click after the edit. You can even do this against a robot to simulate getting pressured like in a real game. At first, it will feel a little weird since you have muscle memory built up of doing it the slow way, but it really is a free kill if you can do it quickly. You guys know I'm not the fastest editor in the world, yet I completely dumped on this kid in Zone Wars with this trick. Look at that. That is as fast and clean as it gets. I left my opponent no time to react after I made the first edit, and the next thing he knew, he was getting a shotgun shot in the mouth. I'm not sure why Mongraal did not show this the correct way in his video. Well, actually, he probably just didn't want other people to know about it. Luckily for you boys, I'm here to help you all learn and get ahead of your opponents who aren't Papagerian subscribers. So, go out and master this because it will help you win more box fights and edit quicker. The next trick is a more straightforward trick to edit walls, cones, and floors faster. What I see way too many people do, especially when going for this specific edit on a wall, is position their crosshair in the middle of each tile while they select it. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with doing this, but it's not good enough in terms of speed. What you should be doing instead is optimizing how far your crosshair travels while you select the tiles. You can see if I put my crosshair close to the center of all 4 tiles I'm trying to edit, and I do that for each one, this is a much shorter distance my crosshair has to travel. In turn, that means it will always be faster than putting my crosshair at the center or at some random spot on each tile while editing. At normal speed, the faster version not only appears quicker, but you can barely see the edit being made. The slower version is still pretty quick, but each second or millisecond really does matter during fights and engagements. Any extra time you take to make the edit because your crosshair positioning was poor could cost you the game. This is another trick Mongraal is always using that's hard to really notice unless you slow down his gameplay. Take this box fight for an example. It really doesn't look like he does anything special other than cranking his arm around for the edit. In reality though, he positions his crosshair very well while selecting the tiles to edit. It's always close to that center point I talked about, which allows him to minimize the distance his crosshair needs to go, and thus making the edit take less time to complete. Also realize this can be applied to your other builds and edits as well, like double editing a cone and floor for example. Instead of positioning your crosshair away from the center of the tiles you want to edit, causing you to slow down and move your mouse around more, you can optimize its position so it moves much less and both edits will be faster and cleaner. The final editing tricks Mongraal uses are 2 that will really help you with box fights. Let's look at this clean kill Mongraal gets while playing Arena. At first glance, like most of Mongraal's kills, you just attribute it to the fact he's an absurdly fast editor, which is pretty true, but there's a lot of tricks in play here. The first is the time in between him replacing the wall and when he edits it. If I really slow it down for you guys, he edits his wall not even a quarter of a second after he replaced his opponent's. Now compare that to what a majority of players, including myself, do, which is destroy the wall, wait for the confirmation the wall is theirs, and then start the edit. Mongraal does not wait at all. He starts the edit as soon as he's done pressing his wall keybind. This is why you'll often see Mongraal accidentally pre-edit his wall or edit nothing. He's so fast at it and has practiced it so much that he just instinctively tries to edit the wall even when he loses the wall replace or he messed up the wall placement. To practice this yourself, just go into creative and get the timing down. As soon as you break the wall and build your own, start the edit. Do not wait for any cue that it's yours or to see that you even built it. You want to perfectly time the start of the edit after you get done pulling out your wall. If you're smart, you can also practice the crosshair trick I just showed to make the edit quicker. This is a big reason why Mongraal's edits are so quick during box fights. Even if you select all the tiles at the same speed as he does, Mongraal will still finish the edit quicker because he began it first. He simply had the timing down better and started to edit the wall sooner. Back to the clip at hand though, we see Mongraal using the crosshair placement trick while editing the wall. Then, he uses the first trick for an instant cone placement after the wall edit goes through. He gets a nice shot off, resets the wall, and right after is the final trick. So notice where Mongraal's crosshair is. It's on the center right side of the wall, because that's where he looked to reset the edit. He knows he wants to edit the top right corner of the wall to finish his opponent off. So he edits starting from the tile his crosshair is already on top of, then goes all the way up and around, gets the edit, and secures an easy kill. The takeaway here is that you never want to reposition your crosshair across your build in order to make the edit. Even though making this edit from the top to the center right feels more comfortable and what most of us are used to, you need to make yourself comfortable with every edit. This way, if your crosshair is already at the center right side of the wall, you should make the Dorito edit from there. Think about it. It's exactly like the second trick, where any time you spend moving your crosshair around is more time for your opponent to protect themselves. That means, in order to be as quick as possible, you need to go for the closest edit, even when it's not the most common one. Overall, while Mongraal does appear to edit incredibly fast, a lot of it can be explained by the subtle little tricks he uses. I really think this clip sums up the video perfectly. Mongraal uses the third trick after he takes the wall, the second trick to make the edit, the first trick to place the cone, and finally, the fourth trick to make the final edit and win the fight. So if you are looking to take your editing to the next level, learn and master these tricks. If you did learn something and you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code Jarian. Remember, there's only a few days left in the 300k subscriber giveaway, so go to my Twitter as soon as possible to enter. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.